Good day to you, and welcome to Conversations and Coffee, here virtually and by true virtue of Lindsay Lasante, our pro at technology, recent graduate of Otterbein, our pro at getting the word out about our beloved recreation center downtown. We thank you, Katie, graduate of Columbus College of Art and Design. I'm Ellen O'Shaughnessy, coordinator and planner for the program. We're delighted to host our guest, Inga Smith, photographer. Inga has shared with us her creative talents for 20 plus wonderful years, attending Conversations and Coffee, hosting our program on occasion, and presenting her photography as the guest artist. Inga was a teacher for a number of years, starting in Stafford, Connecticut. Preceding her teaching, she graduated from Bowling Green State University with a major in drama and a minor in English. Inga taught also in Braintree, Massachusetts, in the high school from which she graduated. Inga moved to Columbus. Thank heavens, huh? She came to us and taught with the Columbus City Schools and received the 1982 Ohio Teacher of the Year Award. In 1986, she retired, then worked for the next 14 years as a national language arts consultant for Houghton Mifflin Publishers. And in that capacity, listen to this, traveled. Now, those of you who know her know she's a traveler. Traveled to 50 states, as well as all over Europe, wherever there was a Department of Defense school where she did hands-on workshops for language arts teachers. When Inga retired in 1999, she had 950,000 frequent flyer miles.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that wonderful? Molly, very dear friend, you're just finding this out. We are honored that you, Inga, you attend Conversations and Coffee regularly, sharing the responses to artists, sharing with the audience, asking questions and encouraging our guest artists. Inga says that her photography and English have no connection. She's self-taught, she says, in photography. But the pictures on your travel, as a friend said, what are you going to do with all of this?
You know who the friend was?
Who?
Molly. That lady right there. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, you put your work out there in exhibits, and I was counting around 41 exhibits and more, including the Loft Gallery Art Center.
Here's your video.
For the Ohio Academy of Medicine Bulletin, the solo exhibit at Whetstone Library, the High Road Gallery Fall Show in Worthington, first prize in the Greenlawn Cemetery. I remember when you did this, the photo contest, and Levesque Building Winter Show, exhibit in the mayor's office, and a grand prize in Columbus Recreation and Parks events. So tell us, Inga, how you see things, what interests you, what transitions have you gone through that have led you to what you call your favorites, your whimsicals, your lucky shots. We're so happy to have you with us.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Okay, let's hit the road then. Thank you, Ellen. That was very nice. And when Ellen asked me if I would do this program, and I said yes, then I got to thinking, what am I going to do? I don't want to just go through a run through and then I took this picture here, blah, 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 blah. So I started looking through my pictures. I have in excess of 28,000 pictures on my computer. So you can imagine that I'm not seeing those every day of the week. And so I started looking through and I thought, oh, that's funny. Or I remember that when I took that and so on and so forth. So out of that evolved the title of this program. I narrowed it down to some what I call lucky shots, which every photographer has a catalog called Lucky Shots, where you just happen to be at the right time, at the right place, looking in the right direction. And so I'd like to start with those pictures. So Lindsay, can we get image? Oh, that's one of my favorites, the pictures that's on the screen now. I'm standing on top of Mont Blanc in Chamonix, France.
Ah,
And I can see how proud I am that I actually made it up there because I do not like heights. And it was quite cold, but it was a great experience.
mm.
That's Mont Blanc. Right. This first lucky shot, I was on a walking tour in Provence. And whenever I'm on a walking tour, I have a bad habit of losing the group because they'll be marching along listening to the speaker and I see something I want to take a picture of. And for that reason, I always sort of stay at the back of the group and then they happen to march on and all of a sudden, where are they and where am I? But this picture, I took one shot. What was that? Across the street as I'm rushing to catch up with my group who's going, we're on our way to see the studio of Cezanne. And they were all excited about that, as was I. But I looked across the street and I thought, that looks like something out of a movie. Those four men sitting there having their probably daily gathering, you know, they looked like they were old friends. So I grabbed the shot and I didn't see till I got to our hotel that night when I transferred some of my shots onto my iPad to see it. I thought, oh my gosh, that is an amazing picture. So that was truly my first, not my first, but my really good lucky shot. Okay, next one, please. This I took, I was on one of the speaking engagements I had for the Department of Defense Schools. I was out on the islands off the coast of Portugal. And the woman who was hosting me was teaching. And so during the day when I wasn't engaged, she let me use her car. So I'm driving down through this little square. I'm going like a semi-rotary around it. And here are these two men sitting on this bench behind this really, soiled wall. And I almost stopped in front of a guy, almost hit me in the back because I stopped so fast. I rolled the window down, shot the picture and drove on. So that's my second lucky shot. Next one, please. This was up in Worthington on I think it was 4th of July parade, not sure. It was a brownie troop anyway. And these two girls came along and I looked at them and I thought, isn't that what patriotism is all about? Here's this clearly Aryan girl, blonde, reddish hair, and then here's an Indian girl. And the two of them are carrying on head the American flag. And I thought that is a perfect shot.
Yeah, it
So
is.
far, all the three of these pictures have been in the state fair
Yeah.
over different years. Okay, thank you.
Inga, didn't the first one win an international contest at Ohio State?
Yes, I did. I got the
Yeah.
four men sitting at the tables there,
Yeah.
got first prize in the International Photo Contest at Ohio State a few years ago. Yeah.
And it's in black and white. It's
Yeah.
just, it's wonderful. How did you know to do that rather than the color?
Well, I just switched it on the camera, and you just switch to black and white on the camera. But there wasn't much color there to begin with, But one of the things I might mention, so far all the pictures we've seen have people in them. And I used to never take pictures of people. I never even thought of myself as a photographer who took people pictures. I always was still life and scenery and what have you. And now I realize when I look through my portfolio that I have a lot of people pictures, and they mostly are my favorites too. So this was just taken down in the Bicentennial Park, you know, the summer when the ballet does their programs there and the show. And this little boy came up and he was fascinated with the dancers. And he just stood there and he was stood like that. I watched him. He was totally entranced when they were dancing. And I thought, oh my gosh, maybe he's going to be a dancer.
Yeah.
But he was not, you know, he was just engrossed totally with every move they made. He never moved a muscle till they were done dancing. So that's just that's not a quality picture in terms of photography, you know, but I think it's a quality picture in terms of what it says.
Yeah.
Okay, next, please.
Oh,
This was at the Taos powwow in Taos, New Mexico. And I took a lot of pictures that day. And I have probably 30 of a lot of different things. But this one, we were sitting, I was with a woman with whom I was visiting, and I was sitting in about the third row up in a bleacher situation. And she just came and I saw that face.
oh,
And I thought, I've got to get that face. And when I got the picture and looked at it, I thought it was a total, I hadn't even paid attention to the dress so much when I was taking the picture, but I love that picture because it just says so much, I think, you know.
yes. So lively.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that, I like that. And that's been in the State Fair also. Next, please.
Taos. You were in Taos because,
I have a friend who lives there.
huh,
Now, I've been out there a lot. In fact, she's remarried now and isn't doing that, but she had a sister who lived, I think, in West Virginia or somewhere, and who was not well. And she often went for 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks even to stay with the sister. And she gave me the key to her house to house sit. So I was out in Taos quite often and enjoyed her hot tub and the good life. But, and this is in Athens, Greece. The changing of the guard. And again, I took a lot of pictures, but the synchrony of this picture was like the moment, the absolute moment when their feet were lined up, their arms were lined up. It's just like it. And it was one of those where if you blinked, you know, one leg would be lower than the other or whatever. So that's one of those lucky shots, I think, too.
and we were talking earlier about the landing, the rover on Mars today, and that's at 5 of 4, is it? And Inga would be right there, knowing that moment.
Yeah, well, the secret of it is actually, Ellen, that you don't know the moment till you have it. You know, it's not like you think, oh, this is going to be the moment. I just got it. It's lucky that I just hit the button on the camera at the right time.
Oh, well, bravo on this one. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, can't talk now. Okay, this was in the State Fair too, and I was so surprised it got in because it's just a funky little shot. But we were standing in front, this was taken in Italy in front of a church, a cathedral, and I had come out ahead of the people I was with. So I was just standing there waiting for them, and this woman came along and she put the dog down and she started to take a picture when she didn't like the way he was postured. So she went over and moved him, and then he was slouching. So she got the bag and put the bag behind. It was like a comedy, you know, you watch this whole thing. And then she finally got the dog and she was going, you know, tisking at him to make him look at her. And she shot it. And the moment she shot it, I shot it.
Oh, I love it.
So that's a favorite as well as a lucky shot, that one. Yeah. And that year I submitted 4 pictures to the State Fair. And that's the only one that got in. I thought it's the last one that would get in, but it was the only one.
So
Hi,
sad.
Barbara.
Wow.
Okay, next. And this is what I took this in Lyon, France. And I was lucky. I went on a 2-week photo class with a National Geographic photographer. And we went, that's one who I was with up in Chamonix at the Alps there. And but she was walking a little bit ahead of me, and I was walking behind, and I heard somebody saying, arrête, arrête, yelling. That means stop in French. And when I got, there was this archway here where you see the dark area, and there was a flight of stairs. It's hilly. It's very hilly in Lyon. Leon, and the mother was coming down the stairs, and obviously the little girl had run ahead of her, and she was telling her to stop. And this little girl stopped like on a dime and was halfway between taking a bite out of her cookie. And so I call this one Waiting for Mother. But that was in the fair also.
Oh,
That's a favorite as well as a lucky picture. And she's just grabbing that bunny in her hand. Like that. Okay. Feel free to jump in anytime, you know. This is not a good shot photography wise, but when I was in Tibet, we visited an orphanage there, and they were blind children. And of course, the Asians don't have hair face. And this man had a mustache and a beard, and they just wanted to feel his face. And they were all reaching to feel his face. And I thought, you know, it was just a great lucky shot.
and in Tibet, did you say?
Yeah.
What? Tell us a bit how you were in Tibet.
Well, I was in China for 3 weeks, and then we went over to Tibet for 4 days on the plane. And it was amazing. Amazing. Most interesting place I've ever been, I think, you know, culturally. The whole time I was there, I kept thinking I was in the middle of a National Geographic magazine. You know, the clothing, the people where they were no Western dress. They're all still wearing their traditional, whatever they're, I don't know what you call their clothing, but so it was really foreign in every way. And just a quick, by the way, the last day we were there before we were going home, we went to this restaurant and they had a menu that had English and Tibetan on it. And one of the things, and everybody was trying to find something they hadn't eaten for 3.5 weeks, you know, that was familiar. So they had like macaroni and cheese and things like that. And they had banana split.
Oh,
So the friend I was with, I said, we have to have a banana split. So some people ordered apple pie. That was the other choice. And they got their apple pie and they were eating and they were finished. And we're still sitting there, the two of us waiting for our banana split. And finally, this man came out and he had the equivalent of a saucer, like a cup saucer. And it had on it a little scoop of something. It was supposed to be ice cream. It didn't taste anything like it. But around it were 2.5 little slices of banana. And then we found out afterwards, our host there asked the waiter, he said, well, he had to go to shop for the banana. So
okay.
everybody was finished and ready to go. And here we were eating out 2.5 slices of banana and a teaspoon of ice cream. So that was that. Okay, jump in. Now this is a puzzle. This was taken in Helsinki, Finland last year. And when I got it onto my iPad and was looking at this picture, look in the top left-hand corner. You see the gull, the bird? That bird, how did I get that picture where he shows up through the thing? And I've shown this to a half a dozen of my elite photography people who know way more about it than I do. And they said, that has to be a doctored shot. And I said, it is not. I tell you on my life's honor, that is not a doctored shot. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
I don't know how that happened.
it's almost as big as the boat.
I know, not only that, but he's between it just like that.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think that may be the end of the lucky shots. Is it, Lindsay? Oh no, here's one more. This was back in China. They were standing across the street. They were waiting for a bus, I think, looked like it. And I just like the symmetry of that picture, the little girl's knees with the bunny painted on them and the man's jeans clearly from working the man. And she has what she clearly treasures, which the little doll that she's holding. And I looked at that watch and I think that's probably something that he treasures.
Uh-huh.
And so I just thought, you know, and I didn't think all that when I took it. You know, I just thought it was a sweet picture. But the more I looked at it, I thought it really was a pretty good shot.
Yeah, it is.
And that was in the fair too. And this is on one of the cruises I was on, they had an ice skating show on the cruise ship. And I took a lot of pictures, and most of them were pretty blurry, or, you know, they had bright lights that fused out and looked off. But just at the finale, when they were getting ready to shut down, I just thought, oh, I'm going to take one more picture. So I took it. And I think that's kind of a good show, good
That is
picture,
so graceful.
pretty picture. Yeah.
The lights, push everything.
Again, it was just not a shot planned to take. It was just turned out well. You know, sometimes they turn out well. Okay, next.
Abstract picture with a person in front of it.
You've been to Chicago at all, where they have the big eye thing that, you know, distorts people and all that. They have a big fountain there, and it comes on and off, and I suppose in various degrees of strength, I don't know. And we were just getting ready to leave, and the water came on, and this little kid just got it. And I think it's just a funny picture.
It is.
Okay. And
Oh.
this
Oh,
is
I know that guy.
this is my grandson, who is now 31 years old.
Oh, Hunter.
But look at, I love his hands and the joy on his face. He doesn't play the piano. He ended up playing the trumpet, but I just think it's a beautiful picture, not because he's my grandson. It's just the composition of it.
Yeah.
And he was just, I love the fingers. They just,
Did you? That little hand.
he thinks he's playing.
And he has
Looks
seems
like he's reading the music.
Reading the music, yeah.
Well, he was a prodigy. Of course he is.
Yes. So I just thought that was the one of
It's
the
dear.
Is he a musician now?
He played, you know, he was in the marching band and the trumpet, played the trumpet.
oh, Thunder.
Yeah. So, but that was a captured shot too, you know. You're not expecting it, you get it. Okay, next. Now we're going to Whimsicals. These are just funny pictures. They're not a professional quality of any sort, but they're funny. So let's go. You ever seen a dog eating a corn on the cob?
No, not ever.
We were on, this was in China, and this dog, we watched him. He was eating that corn on the cob, holding it in his paws, just like you and I would hold it. And then he saw me, I think, watching him. He put the corn down and he gave this look at me with the teeth. I'm telling you, I laughed so hard. Now, if that isn't a whimsical, funny picture, I don't know what
Funny.
is.
It really is. What a cute dog.
Send that into the state fair some year. It just might make it.
Yeah,
Next, please.
definitely at the fair, Inga.
Yeah. Oh, and this was in Spain, and there was a little band of kids that had been brought out to the sidewalk to play. And I looked at him and I said, there are 1,000 places in this world where he'd rather be right now.
This is the opposite of the Joy piano picture.
Exactly. Thanks, Molly. Exactly. That's a really funny, whimsical picture.
He's holding that violin pretty well, I think.
Yeah, but look at the face. He's looking at dog's eyes at his mother, who's probably standing somewhere and saying, you know, some nasty thing.
Saying you'll appreciate this when you're older.
It's like the teachers used to always tell me I'd appreciate knowing algebra when I got older, and I'm waiting. I'm 88 now. Oh, this was taken in Ireland. I was in Ireland when 9/11 happened.
Oh,
And we were out in the country driving to our bed and breakfast. And I just happened to look out the car window, and I was with my British friends, and Peter was driving. I said, Peter, stop the car, stop. And he said, what? I said, I just rolled the window down. I didn't even get out of the car. I was sitting on its side. And these people had put this out.
Oh,
And I thought, that is, you know, with the American flag with it.
With the flower.
It was just like that, yeah. Old boots, worn boots. That I thought was whimsical in a serious kind of way. All right.
photo. That's beautiful. Thank you, Inga.
Tell them with the story, that's amazing, yeah.
I was at a park somewhere, don't remember now exactly where, and this guy came and he had 3 Great Danes on these multiple leashes. You know, they were like pulling him along and everything. It was hot that day. So he said, pulled over the water fountain and these dogs lined up and were drinking out of the water fountain. I thought, oh my gosh.
Taking turns.
It looks like he's holding the button down, you know.
It's like it's a can of soda he's trying to drink out of.
And I think, yeah, but that was sitting there. But isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Dog drinking out of water. That's Phil. That fits the category. Whimsical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Oh,
This was taken in Paris, in the park by the Louvre, and I call this one "Courage Under Duress." He's got, you know, he's not moving him always, the statue clearly, but the bird was like doing business all over his head, and he doesn't move a muscle. You know, I just thought this is great. Okay, he's being brave.
Who's in charge here?
Yeah.
A good
Okay. Next one, please.
oh,
A friend of mine in Connecticut, or no, in New Hampshire, was volunteering at this farm where they dress up and, you know, come. And this little kid had been pumping on that water, and his mother called him to come, and he said like just something, you know, waving, he's going to do one more thing. And he went over and ran back over there and pitched head first into the water.
He wanted to cool off.
Yeah.
from his hard work.
Oh, and he started screaming bloody murder, but I thought, oh my God, this is great. Okay, that's it.
Oh,
I haven't done it for about 8 years, but prior to that, I had a deal with a gift shop over in Marysville. My son manages a bank over there. They wanted me to come and take pictures with Santa, with pets with Santa, and I did it for about 3 or 4 years. I'll tell you what, that was an experience and a half. But I have a lot of those pictures, and some of them are just hysterical. I have one where a woman came and she had 4 Great Dane puppies in a basket.
oh,
And that was like herding cats, you know. And what, she'd get 3 of them the way she wanted, and one would escape, and then one would be over shoulder. And by the time we were done, Santa's hat was on sideways. He was and sweating bullets, you know. But I thought this one was just so classic. The dog, primpy dog posing, you know. So I just threw one of those in because I have a lot of those, and they're all funny.
Where does the beard end and the dog begin?
Yeah, that's right. But the dog said, "I'm here, take my picture," you know.
yeah.
Doggy just taking its picture. That's
Yeah.
not easy to do.
Yeah, and then they would take orders. And you could believe people were ordering 8x10s and 5x7s and Christmas cards and all of that. But we ran out of Santas. He wanted me to start getting the Santas, and I said, no, I don't want to do that. And he couldn't get any more Santas, so it ended. But it was fun while it lasted. I was over there for 2 days straight, and then people would make an appointment and come in, you know. So that was Santa with the dog.
What an experience. Oh,
Oh, and this was on the door of a bar, painting on the door
oh,
going into a bar in Lyon.
oh my gosh,
But I thought that was so cute.
it is.
You open the door and the bar's inside, but the dog's painting. I thought it was just
A drunk dog and one trying to get drunk.
one who has had too much, you know. But one of the things that's funny about these pictures is the woman who I was with, who was the National Geographic photographer, I got 3 pictures that she didn't even see.
Mm.
Because when I got them into the state fair, I sent them to her, you know, a couple of them, and we're still in touch. And she said, where was that? Where was that? I didn't see that. And I thought, well, she was probably got something that I didn't see, you know.
Yeah.
But that's why people can be standing in the same spot and they focus on other things,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
But I have several other pictures. They had other paintings on the wall like that too. But I thought this going into the door, this is what you can expect when you open this door, is kind of what I thought.
Painted on the door.
Yeah, it was painted on.
Clear.
It was glass. Yeah. Isn't that cute though, huh? Good.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And this, I was just driving by and I said, oh my gosh, I said, this is a condo for birds. a condo unit, you know. And it's not a great picture and the color's not good or anything, but I thought
Beautiful.
it's just you drive by and you see all these condo units, you know, and they're all
Yeah,
lined up there. So this is my bird condos.
it's great.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I was driving there too and I backed up to get a picture of it.
They're probably purple Martin houses.
Yeah, I don't know what they are, but they're all different hole. I noticed they were different, some of
Yeah,
them were different size holes and things.
This is on stilts for when the blood comes. Right?
Isn't that, I think that's funny.
It's-
it
Okay. Next,
I don't
please.
see any birds though. Did the birds use it?
I didn't know. This is called Why Me, Lord.
Oh,
Oh,
The Tuileries Gardens in Paris, isn't it? I thought it's just classic.
it is.
good design.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
nice of the bird to accommodate, right?
And Inga, how you take us all over the world.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Okay, can we move on? Next one, please.
To
Now
Paris.
we're going into favorites. And I have a lot of favorites.
Oh, yeah.
This is up in Amish country here in Ohio. And I just like the plainness of it, I guess. You know, there's there are no distractions in that picture.
No, they don't let you take their faces. They have to take them from behind. Is that right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. I have sneaked a few, but I really try not to do that. But that
That's
one, that's one of my favorite pictures. I don't know why. I just like the tone of it, I guess.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Feel free to jump in anytime, you know. Okay, next, please.
Natural.
Oh,
Oh, this was in the Tuileries Gardens also. These boys were lying, they had food for the ducks, and I just love their feet and their shoes and
yeah.
their posture toward each other and the hair, just everything about it. It's just so typical, I guess you would say, you know,
So natural.
natural. That's the word. Thank you.
Well, I wasn't correcting it. I was just
Oh,
adding.
no, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So that is one that's been in the fair too.
My hair looks like that a lot.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Next, please.
I love this.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This is Burano, Italy, just off the coast of Venice, the islands and the Venice Grand Canal. And I've been there a number of times, but only on this particular visit quite a few years ago. The sun was just perfect for the light and it made and the houses are painted so beautifully. And I just love the reflections and everything. It's just one of my
It's like a
favorite.
painting, but it's not a painting. It's a
Right. People who have seen it said, "Oh, you doctored that up," and I said, "I haven't. I don't doctor my pictures."
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
exactly what I thought, that it looked more like a painting than a photo.
Hi, Linda. It's my
Hi,
daughter-in-law.
Inga.
Hi.
I've been here all along.
Oh, good. I didn't see you until just now. So this is one of my. This is.
That Inga could be like a travel agent. When we were going to Venice, I thought, where shall we stay? And I asked Inga, and she said, Hotel Abbazia. It just came out so naturally because I wanted to go to Murano and Murano. And I thank you to this day. That was just wonderful. It had been an old monastery and then turned into this. But if you do have travel questions, Inga is amazing.
Well, yeah, Ellen and her husband Bob and I met. And we had a nice long conversation about Venice. I love Venice. I've been there like 12 times maybe.
Beautiful place. Mhm.
Next,
Love
please.
that.
Oh, wow.
This is a store window in Paris. And it was a woman's, you know, fancy store. And I just like it looks like it's in a castle or something. And it highlights the person, the glitter and the glam and all of that. I just like it. It's just an unusual picture for me to take.
Beautiful.
I don't know. They had the chairs all piled up.
Oh,
This is my friend Dolly Parton.
yeah.
We are friends, actually. Really, when I go down to Dollywood, I'm a preferred guest. But She is the most amazing human being, the most generous person and devoted to education. And she does so much that people don't know about. For example, she gives a program called Chasing the Rainbow. And it was originally sponsored and originated by the National Teachers of the Year organization. And it's given once a year to a person who became a teacher by overcoming some kind of extreme difficulties, health-wise or growing up-wise or whatever. And then in June, usually the person is invited to Dollywood, and the presentation. So I've always gone because I'm on the selection committee for the award and have been for a long time. And so I've had the occasion to spend time with her, but she gives a book to every child born in Tennessee every month for 5 years.
It's amazing.
First 5 years of their life, they get a book sent to their home.
Wow.
And she now has that going in Canada and other cities all over the United States. And it's just an amazing program. And she's a gaudy looking person. You know, people always say she has had, I don't know how many plastic surgeries, and she doesn't even make a secret of it. But I heard her say one time to somebody, she has a museum there, and all her costumes and her dresses are there. And we got to go in her mobile home that she travels in. It's a $2 million mobile home, if you can picture that. It has one room in it just for her wigs. She has 100 plus wigs. And so we were in there, and somebody made some comment. You know, there were only 4 of us in there, but she made some comment about the wigs, and she said, honey, she says that it costs a lot of money to look this tacky. So that's I love that. I have a lot of pictures of Dolly, but I have to just like that one.
Oh,
So pensive.
Oh, next, please. This one I took in Annecy, France, and this was in a double spread of the AAA magazine that comes out.
Oh,
I got first prize on that one.
ah,
And we were just walking along, and I was with this photographer, and she just marched right on by that, and I saw it, you know, and she might have seen it if she'd been looking that way, but she might have been looking at something else. Oh, but I like this a lot. It's just like how everybody wishes to be, I think. Sitting in a chair in the sun, having the boat ready when you want to move on.
yeah. And mountain in the background.
Yeah, yes, the mountain in the background. So that's another one of my favorites.
mm.
Thank you. Next. That was in the fair too.
Oh,
This was
Wow.
at the state fair, you know, when they had the butterfly thingy, I don't know what it's called, where you can go in 2 doors, you know, and see the butterflies. And this butterfly, and I did not doctor this, if you're thinking I doctored, I took this picture as is, and it took off instantly after I took it. So that's one of my favorite shots. I'm not a butterfly person or anything like that, but this
Oh, it's gorgeous.
is pretty cool.
Sitting on a red flower, I guess. Is that what, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it was it was a bent over flower. Yeah, and when he got off, it popped up.
Huh.
Okay, thank you. Next. This was in Greece, walking along, I think it was, can't remember now. Anyway, it was in Greece, and he was standing in a boat, and I had taken a picture of him. He was standing like leaning on an oar, and I did get that. But then I tilted the camera up and just got his face, and I thought it's such a classic Greek fisherman face.
Mhm.
And that was in the fair also. So that's another one of my favorite people pictures.
Oh.
And this is Hawaii.
Oh, beautiful.
I
Yeah,
love
and
that picture.
Yeah, 2 little
Shadows.
girls
Yeah.
in the sunset. Yeah, shadowed in the sunset. So that just was,
Hawaii. You love Hawaii, huh?
yeah.
They're both dressed alike, same.
They were sisters, clearly. You know, parents were standing right where I was, actually.
Oh,
So I just like that one. One of my favorites. Next, please.
Oh.
You know where that is. Hawaii,
And palm trees.
swaying palms in the sunset. I was supposed to be there 2 weeks last month, but that didn't happen. First time in 14 years I didn't go to Hawaii in January.
Mm,
You have a certain place you go to every year?
One of two. We usually go to Maui or to Oahu.
Hmm.
To the far end of Waikiki Beach where the crowd is not. How about Diamond Head? Yeah. All right, next, please. This is my dancing flamingo. I think it looks like she has on a tutu. It has on a tutu.
Beautiful.
Just like I took a lot of pictures of the flamingos, and they're kind of funny looking with their legs, you know, not particularly attractive, but this one was just looked like she was dancing, or I don't know, it was dancing.
The face, you don't usually think about the face of a flamingo.
Yeah, and the eyes like that. I have a close-up I took of a flamingo face some years ago, just the head like down to the middle of the neck there, and the eye looks like a glass marble, actually.
What is that on? Is that the chin or a feather down there? What is that there? Where they shaped the bottom of the underneath the mouth?
Yeah, that's a feather.
I mean,
Oh, on the lip, under the lower chin, like right there.
like a turkey's.
Yeah, no, and that's just their lower lip thing. I don't know. I'm not a
Because
flamingo.
the big, you see the beak above it. That's the opening of the beak above it, and then that
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
No, I think that's part of the beak. I don't know.
Oh,
I have to look at my other flamingos and see if they all have that. I don't know, but I liked it because I looked like she was dancing with a tutu.
beautiful. So the shapes and these are beautiful.
The composition is exquisite and the color.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
The soft curve of the feathers.
Yeah. Okay, next, please. Oh, I had this purple sky. I call this one nature's paintbrush.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you don't often see all the purple and the gold at the same time there. This is Hawaii, obviously, but it was just unusual coloring, I thought, because I can't even tell you how many sunset pictures I have, but this one really kind of seemed different somehow.
Gorgeous.
Win an award with that one?
I haven't put that out for an award anywhere.
Under pictures. Just kidding.
Yeah. Okay, next, please. Oh, this is the Louvre in Paris.
Oh,
And the woman I was with, that was the photographer, she said, better take a nap this afternoon because we're going out around midnight.
oh,
And we're going to take some night shots around Paris.
Oh,
We did do that. We did go out at different odd times to different places and things, but I shot a lot of pictures, mostly of the glass triangle. I can't remember what it's called. You know, you've seen
Yeah.
pictures of the big, and pictures of the whole building and everything. And we separated at that point. She was wandering here and there, and I was going there. And I just happened to look up and saw that
Mm.
moon come out behind that cloud, and I thought,
oh.
grab it. Yeah, this has been in the fair also.
Can't figure out, it looks like a double exposure because the sky comes over the building. I can understand that. Is it?
It's not a double exposure. I don't even know how to do a double exposure.
Why, the darkness is down over that rail on the building. I can't figure that out.
yeah.
Oh, I think that's here, you mean? Right? Well, you can't see where I'm pointing, but yeah, right there.
Yeah, how can that be?
It's just darkness behind the rail. There's no cloud there. It's just black sky.
So you can't see the rail though? At that point, because there's no light on it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just dark. Yeah. I
Strange.
think the whole railing was like that before the moon came out.
Hmm.
Anyway, I thought,
Amazing.
I've never seen the Louvre more beautiful.
That is an amazing photo.
That's extraordinary.
The detail of the light on the building too, where you see the statues so clearly.
well, it's lighted, of course, you know, but that's the focus. And it just,
Hmm.
2 seconds later, 3 seconds later, I might have been looking somewhere else. The moon would have come out and gone. And it would be a different thing. Okay. Next.
Oh,
Oh, this is the only thing I've done. This was taken in Wales. And I got off a train. We were going up to the mountain. And this woman was sitting on a bench waiting somebody from on the train, apparently. And she had this dog in her lap. And I said, oh, can I please take a picture of your dog? So she said, oh, yes. And I took the picture, I showed it to her. And the only thing I've done to this is down in a couple of the corners, I blotted out like a piece of her elbow or something. I forget what it was, but I didn't do anything to the dog, just the background a little bit. But I had a Welsh Terrier for 16 and a half years. And this is not a Welsh Terrier, but they have that sweet kind of face,
Very
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
For somebody who's a dog lover, I absolutely love this.
Oh, hi, Steve.
Hi,
Yeah.
Inga. Thanks for letting me be a guest to this event today. I really
Oh, thank
appreciate
you.
it and I'm enjoying it so much.
Thanks for coming. So anyway, that's really one of my big favorites. And I sold that one up to somebody in Worthington a couple years ago.
Still have the picture of it though.
It's
Yeah.
smiling.
Yes. Okay, next, please.
oh,
This actually was taken in Hawaii, but she's a little Japanese girl. We were out walking, going to get some ice cream one evening. Excuse me. And she was sitting on the bottom step. Her parents apparently it was a restaurant there, a Japanese restaurant. And she was sitting on the step with this dog. And so I said to her, would you let me take your picture with your dog? And she didn't, maybe she didn't speak English, I don't know. And she just sat there. So I thought, well, I'll do it anyway. And just as I got ready to shoot, she ducked her head down behind the dog. And I thought, perfect.
this is Starlight.
This was in the fair. I'll tell you a story about this one. I was standing next to it with some friends at the opening. And this woman came up and she said, oh, there's that picture. And I said, oh, that's mine. You like it? And she said, yeah, I was one of the judges. And it was my favorite one.
Oh,
And after she left, I thought, well, if that's the case, how come I didn't get an award?
Yeah.
But I didn't get, but I think that's just so cool.
it is.
Hiding behind the dog.
Yeah, but she wasn't, she was sitting up with the dog down in her lap till I said, she saw the camera go up and down went her head. And I went, and that's even better, way
So
better
sweet.
than it would have been.
We had friends in New England who just sent us little kerchiefs for our Dipsy and Doodles, our having puppies. And so my husband was trying to get a picture of it and they were just not cooperating. And so he was ready to give up and Doodles came up and gave me a kiss on the cheek. It was that. And I thought of you, Inga.
Did
It
he
was
get a picture of it? Did he get a picture of it?
got it. And that's the one we sent to them.
Yeah. Okay, next, please. And this is in China, the Great Wall of China.
Oh,
And
oh.
there's a place, have any of you been to China?
Yeah, I have been.
Well, there's a place that they've created for the tourists, and it's like a big wide thing, paved, lined with t-shirt shops and things, and you walk up that, and then you see something like that, you can see part of the Great Wall. We went in Jeeps out to this godforsaken place. We were the only people there, and they let us off, and we had to walk in, and if we wanted to climb up there, we could. And so, of course, I went, it's I had a walking stick we had taken, and it was very perilous because the steps had sort of disappeared at the top and were just crumble.
Oh,
But I remember when I was in 7th grade, and I had never thought about that the rest of my life, but I remember thinking when I was in 7th grade, oh, I would love to see that, when we were talking about it. And I never thought about it again. And when I saw it, I thought, that's the thing I wanted to see when I was in the 7th grade,
gosh.
So we hiked up, and the friend I was traveling with, she hated it. She said, I don't want to go up there. And she was afraid she was going to fall and all that. So when we have talked about the trip since, I think it's one of my favorite things. And she said, well, it was my worst, my least favorite, you know, goes to show you what people see
Yeah.
differently, you know. And she only went a little bit of the way. At the beginning, there were some boards like you could walk on, but when they stopped,
Mm.
and she stopped, you know, but it was an amazing experience when you think about what that is, you know, a Great Wall.
That out of the place way. Was it
Yeah.
on a tour? Did
Huh?
somebody take you there?
Yeah, we went a tour company, Jeep took us out there in Jeeps as far as they could go. There were 11 of us, I think.
Oh,
And then we had to walk through a path. There was a path that we had walked through to where it started. So it was way out. So when we were going back into Beijing, we went by this place, the tourist version. And we said, oh, I said to my friend, I said, I'm so glad they didn't make us go up there, you know. But they said, they stopped and they said, if anybody wants to get a souvenir, you can jump out of the van and get one. So I jumped out and at the very top, there was a t-shirt shop and they had one little shirt that said, I climbed the Great Wall. And it was my size and I bought it and I got it and everybody said, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get that shirt? I said, right at the top there. I got it and got back in the van, but so I do have my shirt, prove I was there.
Inga, one of the things I think is so interesting is in the far distant, the mountains, the lighting changes color, and look at the aqua of the farthest one. Isn't that just
Yeah,
so beautiful next to the bluish one?
right. And if you look carefully at the line where the green changes to the turquoisey,
Yeah.
you can see a little bit of the wall, the
Yeah.
little thing where it would have continued on. I mean, I've forgotten now how many miles. It's a
Yeah.
little long off. Yeah.
I think it's the only thing that can be seen from outer space, I've read.
Yeah, I have heard that also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that building is, go ahead.
Go
The
ahead.
building is like a tourist place. What is, I wonder what that is. The building at the end,
Oh, no, that was where they had their guns and that was
Oh.
part of the fortress thing. There's no tourists there. And I don't know how we got there, but I was with a group called Overseas Adventure Traveled.
Yeah.
And that was part of the adventure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know, so these are all along the way at various points. You'll see another one of these. That's where they had holes for the guns, you know, or their
Mhm.
arrows or whatever they were shooting in those days.
Mhm.
But no, it's not touristy at all there.
Boy, that's
Please.
fabulous.
Back, it was still in China. We had a luncheon at one place and this woman was the entertainment. And
Mm.
she played this music. It was just unbelievable. And just the composition of her makeup and her hair and her fingers. I thought it was just, was beautiful. And she was playing this really quiet, nice music.
that on her face, like that the music must be beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah, right, exactly. The silk on her neck piece there,
Yeah.
her jacket.
It looks so timeless. That could be from any century, it feels like to me.
Yeah, it's been in the fair too.
Yeah. Look at her hair braided on the other side of the jeweled.
Yeah, loops. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
Okay, next. I think we got a few more. What time is it?
That is actually the last one.
Perfect timing.
Bravo. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Would you have any questions or any comment you'd like to make?
Well, I was just thinking as we were looking at that beautiful woman, you take us to beauty.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just a natural part of you, isn't it? You see it,
Yeah.
and you capture it. And I'm just so grateful to you for that, Inga.
A lot of these could probably also have fallen into lucky shot category, but you know, maybe they all are. Who knows? You know, if you see it and it's a good picture, it's
Yeah.
lucky.
Inga, do you know how many places you've gone? How many countries you visited?
Oh, I have a map in my bedroom my kids gave me where you scratch off all places you've been. I've pretty well covered the northern hemisphere, and I've only been to Egypt and Africa. That's the only African. I haven't been to Antarctica, although I think I'm there right now.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
Go to
Yeah.
Texas, you'll be there.
I've been to every European country. I've been to every state in the United States. I've been all over Canada. Been to 2 places in South America. Been to Central America. I've got to get into South America more. And I've been to Australia, almost got to New Zealand, except the pandemic broke out. I was in Australia last March, just about this time actually. We were getting ready to go over to New Zealand, and we got a message that New Zealand had closed the border to tourists. So we had to go on a plane and go home. So we never got to New Zealand, but I would have been there. So I've never counted up the states. I should do that. I mean, the countries, but
Yeah.
I've been to quite a few places.
You're an inspiration.
Thank you.
Very true.
She has to say that. She's my daughter.
Inga. Oh, I can see she radiates it. She really means it. Beautiful. Oh, great to meet you.
Inga, you went to Mexico.
Oh, right. Marlene and I went to Mexico. Right. I forgot about that. That was quite an interesting experience, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
First thing on my camera, remember I got a new camera and you helped me with it. And
Yes.
the first group of photos on my camera was our Mexican trip. Yeah.
I had forgotten about that. Yep. We went over Easter, wasn't it? Holy Week. We did
Yes,
Holy
yes.
Week
I saw people flailing themselves.
in parades with people carrying gigantic crosses and beating themselves with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Into the
interesting.
back. And
Beautiful pictures
I
there.
got sick. The only time I've ever been sick on
I remember that. That was scary.
Yeah, I got food poisoning. They were going to leave me there, weren't they, Marlene?
No.
Sounded like it. They said, well, we have to go. She can catch the next plane. Something like that.
Well, Inga, we're so grateful you were with us today. It was wonderful. You took us to all over the world.
Well, I had fun doing it.
As I had told you earlier, that you were going to be on NASA's Mars rover, taking the beautiful, would you call them whimsical?
Probably lucky if I ever got there.
So as they land on Mars today, as the rover does, and that's going to be at 5:04, and I know the Weather Channel is going to be showing it. So I say, I wish you were there. So we can see it.
Why she's not there.
Well, thank you for asking me to do this. It was really fun to get back in and looking at some pictures I hadn't seen for quite a while, and some that probably could be deleted.
Well, in 2 weeks, March 4th, can you believe 2 weeks is March 4th? We're going to have with us Barb Juco, who has been with us today, huh? There you go. And you're going to share with us your painting, an oil, acrylic, plein air, and landscapes and portraits. And we really look forward to this, Barb. And Inga, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bravo.
Conversations and coffee.
Well, it was great fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did too. Someday we'll be serving coffee again, huh?
Yeah, let's hope.
Take care.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Wonderful show. Thank you.
All right, signing off.
Thank you, Molly.
Hi. Thank you. Thanks, Ellen.